So here you see a satellite image. You can see the Great Valley, Washington D.C. is right here, and we're located where that star. You can see the Great Valley even from space. So how was it made? Well, you go back 315 million years ago, there were two big, large supercontinents. One was Laurasia, the other one was Gondwana, and in between them was an ocean, the Rake Ocean. And that's where that limestone that makes up the Great Valley was made. So these were coming together, and they came together and formed the supercontinent Pangea. A lot of people have heard of Pangea, but it was a supercontinent. Eventually the dinosaurs were on here. Pangea, that was the age of dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were able to roam all of the continents. But what's interesting is that the average temperature was 22 degrees centigrade, which is about 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And the oxygen level was 10%. And the CO2 levels were 2,500 parts per million. So keep that in mind as I show you the next slides. Those are quite different than the temperatures today. As again, this is a slide of the continents started to spread apart. They pushed together and then they spread apart, and they eventually ended up in their current location. So spend a little more time on this slide because what I was mentioning, today's temperature, the average is 13 degrees centigrade, which is about 55 degrees. So it was about over 20, almost 20 degrees warmer than when the dinosaurs were here. Also, the oxygen levels are 20% now. They were 10% during the age of dinosaurs. The CO2 levels around 400 now. So it's a lot different. Actually, if you were to get in a time machine and go back to Pangea to look at the dinosaurs, somehow you would actually only last about 20 minutes. You would die on the environment of the world at that time because it was just so little oxygen, so hot, and such high carbon dioxide levels. And so back to this image of the Great Valley. Again, the Great Valley was formed of the two continents pushed together, and then they split apart. But what a lot of people don't recognize, even a lot of geologists don't recognize, is that this valley, that limestone, is so deep, this really demarcates the land. This was North American continent. Over to the east of that line was the African continent. So all this land, most of this land over here was ancient Africa. They got when they split apart, it sort of just stayed there. So we've got our roots in Africa for sure. Now let me go and show you a little bit about West Virginia. Here we are in Jefferson County. The age of the rocks. The oldest rocks in West Virginia are the Blue Ridge. This little stretch over here, the Blue Ridge that run next to the Shenandoah in Jefferson County. And then Jefferson County's next and oldest, where the Blue Ridge is about 800 million years. We're about 600 million years old in Jefferson County. And then they get younger and younger as you go across the state until you get to the Permian Basin, which is about 230 million years old. But the 230 million years old compared to the Rockies, the Rocky Mountains are only 75 million years old. All right, now the limestone, I want to talk a little bit more about that limestone. I've talked about what it is, but limestone, which actually is very impervious, means water doesn't want to run through. You can make some nice bowls out of limestone, marble and all that's really impervious. But acid, it's calcium carbonate. The calcium carbonate will dissolve with acid, and rain's naturally acidic. So when rain falls over millions of years, hundreds of millions of years, it's going to erode, it's going to dissolve some of the rocks. Another thing that happened was there was a lot of volcanoes during this whole time period around the Blue Ridge. So the volcanoes produced exceptionally acidic rain. So that also helped to hollow out a lot of places in the limestone ground. So as I said, this is a picture of a quarry in Clarke County, Virginia, and you'll see these little channels, solution channels that are on this rock. That's why you don't have many streams again in this area. It all just sort of runs down into the ground very quickly. It becomes groundwater versus surface water. And an example of that, this is the Luray caverns, which are have water in them to reflect this above the stalactites and stuff in this picture. But it's pretty hollow. But its elevation is 1,725 feet. Here in Jefferson County, where I'm standing, it's about 440 feet above sea level. So there's a huge elevational change. So a lot of the caverns up higher in the Shenandoah, like Luray, are empty. But in our county, a lot of the caverns are full of water. We have a very water-rich county, but a lot of it's not known. We only know a little bit about what's underneath of our feet here in Jefferson County. So from above ground, those sinkholes often look something like this, which just looks like a groundhog hole. It's pretty small, but they can be large. But a lot of them are just very small, even smaller than this. Another example of what I'm concerned about in our county is where they do a lot of scraping of the landscape, like they did with the construction of the rock wool factory. They said there were no sinkholes there. They discovered 22 of them. Some of them were pretty big. They tried to fill this one with concrete, which was a big mistake and illegal. But that just shows you what you shouldn't do. You shouldn't really scrape the landscape. This landscape is hundreds of millions of years old, and by scraping it, you expose a lot of these sinkholes. So it's something you should avoid. So here's a map of Jefferson County showing the sinkholes. A map done by Doctor and Doctor, the original. But it shows all the sinkholes, and the denser they are, where you get the red dots. But notice how many sinkholes, and those were just known sinkholes at the time. There's actually a lot more sinkholes in the valley than we know about in that valley. Sinkholes, again, to show you a little bit of a picture. This is a sinkhole in Jefferson County, one that's collapsing. They built the fences because they can be dangerous. You can be dropping hundreds of feet even in these things. This is more common where you just have a dimple in the landscape. Well, a dimple in the landscape is not very natural, especially in a landscape that's hundreds of millions of years old. It's like, how many natural lakes are in West Virginia? Well, there used to be one, but it was a limestone one that drained about 10 years ago. So now there's no natural lakes in West Virginia. There's no natural lakes in Maryland. Virginia has two. That's because we're this ancient landscape, and most of the depressions fill in with sediment over time, and you don't have lakes and ponds like, Minnesota or something that has. They're fairly recent because of the glaciation that occurred. They're fairly recent. I'm going on a little bit. This is a house in Clarke County, Virginia, and you see what happened then with the sinkhole. You got to be careful where you build in limestone areas. The worst example I know, this isn't local, this is Guatemala, but this overnight this thing collapsed and went down hundreds of feet. People lost their lives, a family lost their lives when this one occurred. I'm not worried about that happening here, but just to show you from a small sinkhole to a big sinkhole, you have to be careful, you have to be knowledgeable that these are in our landscape. Another thing about sinkholes or just depressions, if they run a sewer line along a limestone area and they've scraped the landscape and changed the drainage, the pipes can start to sink into that sinkhole, and a pipe doesn't have to break necessarily. I mean, it starts to bend. It doesn't work right if the pipe's bending. They can eventually break. And the especially bad thing about something breaking, a sewer line breaking in a karst area, in a limestone area, is the stuff doesn't run up like it does in other places. It just runs down like we've been talking about. That goes into the soil. So our groundwater becomes contaminated very rapidly and spreads in directions that we don't really know very well.